Alhamdulillah. I think someone over there ate more than anyone, mashallah. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. It's a great pleasure of mine, before we get to the fundraising, where we're going to be asking for your help. We're going to be asking each and every one of you to do whatever you can to help us, inshallah, to make this a reality. It is a reality already, but to finish it and make it really, as I said, a world-class centre for our Muslim brothers and sisters, for our families and our children, for our janazas. Inshallah, before that, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker. Like myself, he's been on this journey with Aisha Masjid. I think at all the fundraising dinners, alhamdulillah, he's been here supporting us. Many of you will know him from his appearances on Sky TV, on Channel 4, on the BBC. Others of you will see the many, many millions and millions of views that he has on YouTube. He is an imam, he is a khatib, he is a writer, he is a campaigner. Alhamdulillah, he is a counselor, and alhamdulillah, he is my friend, and he is our friend. Please give a very warm welcome to our brother, to your brother, Brother Ajmal Masroor.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. My dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So only this side who's awake, that side is asleep, so I hope you're awake, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. God bless you all. It is a great pleasure to be here today, my brothers and sisters. It's a great pleasure to be with you in this journey. I want to start by asking you all to pay attention very closely, because I don't want to take too much of your time. I want to focus on a key message. I want to talk about legacy. My father, Allah have mercy on his soul, has passed away recently. In January the 4th this year. He was not very well. He was in the hospital. Alhamdulillah, he was 93. He passed away, but he has taught me some great lessons that I'll never forget. The ones that I like sharing with everybody. One of them, my brothers and sisters, my father said to me, my son, when you're dead and gone, when you're buried, how will the world remember you? Can you answer me this question? This was when he was alive. He said to me, when you are dead and buried, my son, how will the world remember you? Will they say, yeah, good riddance, this person was terrible, he's gone, we're very happy, he's dead? Or will the world mourn the death of a good man or a good woman who will be missed by the society, whose contribution will be missed? How will the world remember you? My father used to tell me all the time. Second question he used to ask me to think about. The world in which you live, my son, how did you benefit this world? Did you benefit the world in which you live? Or were you just a loser, waste of time, waste of space, lazy, good for nothing, came and went and made no difference on this earth? My father used to tell me these words, quite sharp and stark. They stay with me even today. The third question that he used to always remind me is that the world in which you lived, how did you take benefit from this world? What did you draw from this world for your growth, for your benefit, for the world's benefit? What did you do? My father has passed away now. Allah has mercy on his soul and the souls of all of our parents. Please say Ameen.
Ameen.
Brothers and sisters, my father has passed away. He has left 6 children on this earth. 6 of us. When he died, we looked at his bank balance. We found in his bank nothing. 0. A big fat 0. We looked in his savings, maybe under his pillows, under his mattress, in a secret suitcase, nothing. We looked for land and property, nothing. We looked in his cupboard, we found 2 pair of trousers, 2 shirts, and a couple of pajamas. His dying material possession on this earth. You may be wondering, what did he leave for you? Well, what my father left for me, and for us, words cannot describe them to you. Let me explain what my father left for you, for me, for all of us, before he passed away. My first ever job, my brothers and sisters, was working in a newsagent, earning £1 an hour, stacking shelves, selling chocolates and newspapers. I was 14 years old. After my first week's salary, I came home. I gave my father the brown envelope and Dad, here's my money. He took the money and he put it in his pocket. Never said anything to me. Never looked back. That was it. He took my money. It was £17.50. So during dinner time, I said to my father, Dad, I gave you my first ever salary, my earning, and you took it away. You did not give me anything. You did not even thank me, nothing. You could have given me £5 and nothing. You've given me nothing, why? He looked at me and he said to me, son, I'm sorry I didn't give you anything. But when you got your job, I made a dua for you. I said, Ya Allah, if my son is able to keep his job, whatever he earns from his first week's salary, I will give it away all in charity. So I've given every single penny that you've earned in charity. I said, okay, alhamdulillah, Dad, thank you. He said, I also made a dua for you, special dua for you. I said, Dad, what's the special dua you made for me? He said, the dua that I made for you, my son. I said, Ya Allah, please keep my son on the path of charity for the rest of his life. Ladies and gentlemen, I was 14 years old at that time. 32 years later, today, I'm still working on the path of charity.
Allahu Akbar.
You're asking me what my father left for me? You're wondering what is his legacy? Well, my brothers and sisters, his legacy is my living every day and enjoying the barakah that comes from Allah for his dua and his teaching, not the material that he left behind, but the spiritual fulfillment that it killed. You're asking me what he left for me? He may not have left me a house. He may not have left me any money. But who needs money when you live from the abundant blessings and the grace of Allah on a daily basis because your father made a special dua for you? Who needs money? No money can ever replace the dua of your father or your mother. My father left a legacy on this earth. He left a sadaqah jariyah on this earth. is called his children. For every time I make dua, for every time I stand and I pray, for every time I give a penny in charity, for every time I read the Quran, for every time I smile at a human being, every reward I get, my father becomes recipient of the share of my reward without me losing a small amount of it. In fact, Allah increases it more and more. He has left on this earth a legacy that nothing can compare with if you put money next to it. Nothing. You're asking me what he has left behind? I don't need money. If my father had left money for us, all of us would have been fighting, 6 brothers and sisters. Most likely would have fallen out. Probably would go to court, would need mediators, would need solicitors, would need this, would need that. Allah has blessed us as siblings. There is nothing to fight over except wonderful memories of our father. Allahu Akbar. Except the wonderful memories of our father. Brothers and sisters, my father has left a legacy for me. When I was little, he took me by his hand and he took me to the masjid, to the mosque. He carried me on his shoulder in the days when it was snow outside the house, freezing cold. I couldn't walk, but he would carry me on his shoulder to the masjid every day for as many prayers as humanly possible. He took me to the mihrab where the imam was sitting. He would sit next to me with the imam. He would tell the imam, teach my son the Quran. He would tell the imam, teach my son morals and manners. He would tell the imam, take my son and make him a scholar, an imam for the future. Take my son, he would say. My father left for me legacy of knowledge. If it wasn't for my father, I would not be reading the Quran today. If it wasn't for my father, I would not be speaking to you the way I am speaking today. My father has left behind a legacy by giving me Islam from the day I was born. My father has left behind a legacy where my mind is open. You know what he said to me, my son? When you grow up, please make a promise. I said, yes, Dad. What promise would you like? He said, please promise me that if you ever become an imam of any masjid, you will never take a single penny for being an imam. Never take up a job as an imam. I said, why, Dad? He goes, if you take up the salary from the mosque will control your mouth, control your mind. You will not be free to think. My son, lead prayers because you have to pray. My son, do khutbah in the masajid because you have to do jum'ah. My son, teach the world Islam from the masjid. But don't take money in the masjid. Go and earn money from other sources that are halal. My father left a legacy of empowering me to be a good Muslim. Why am I telling you the story of my father? You may be thinking, well, he's talking about his father. What does that got to do with me? Well, my brothers and sisters, I would ask you the same question. When you are dead and buried, how will you be remembered? Your money won't go with you. Your children will not go with you. وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَتَاعُ الْغُرُورِ. Remember this verse. وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَتَاعُ الْغُرُورِ. Life on this earth is nothing but a mirage. Like a mirage. My brothers and sisters, how will you be remembered when you are gone, when you're dead and buried? What contribution have you made and left behind on this earth for you to be remembered? I went to a janazah recently and I told this story on my Facebook post, and some of you may have read it. I received a phone call from a friend of mine saying, can you please go to a funeral of a pastor? And I said, sure. The family called me and said, our father has died. He is Pakistani, he was Muslim. We don't want a religious ceremony. We just want to bury him. We've arranged for his funeral services in the church. Can you come and do some blessings for him, please? I said to the family, the girl who phoned me, was your father a Muslim? Yes. Did he ever say what kind of funeral he wants? Yes. He wanted a Muslim funeral. But she said, we're very integrated children. We don't do too much religion. We don't need any funeral of Islamic nature. Any service would do. Can you come and do some blessings? You know, my brothers and sisters, my heart skipped a beat. I felt a punch in my stomach. I said, a Muslim has died. Allah have mercy on the soul of the pastor who has died. His children are not going to even bury him according to Islam. So I said to the sister, my dear sister, please do me a favor. You don't need to do anything. I will come and I will do the janazah for him, because the entire Muslim community is responsible for the janazah of all of us. If somebody dies, it's a fardu kifaya, it's a collective obligation. If 3 people do them, Allah will relieve us all. Please let me do janazah for him. But I don't have 3 people to pray for our father, said the sister. I said, don't worry. I will come, I'll be 1. I'll bring my son, he'll be 2. And I'll pick up somebody from the street as I'm driving. I'm sure I will see a Muslim. It's Jum'ah day. I will inshallah read janazah. I came, his body was in the church. They played some contemporary music that they liked and he liked. They asked me to do a service, so I spoke about life and death. They played music again, they carried his body to the graveyard. And I'm sitting there, my heart is crying out, thinking, Allahu Akbar, when will I get the chance to perform janazah for this man? As the body was brought next to the grave, I said to the family, I'm going to pray janazah right now, so please give me 5 minutes. They all stood around. And I said to the people, is there any Muslim here who would like to come forward and pray janazah with me? Allahu Akbar. Allah had other plans. 10 people had come with wudu to pray janazah for him. So we joined and we prayed. The man was given the last rite of passage, called janazah. How will your children remember you when you are dead and buried? Will they do janazah for you? It frightens the life out of me when I think about this. What's your legacy? What are you leaving behind on this earth? My brothers and sisters, that's why it's important for you and for me to invest in education, in masajids, in institutions, in people, so that they can be your legacy, not your money. You may have 10 houses, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Mercedes, name me the best cars in the world. You may be able to afford holidays every year. You may have millions of pounds in your account. Not a single penny will go with you in your grave. Not a single penny will benefit you when you're dead. Except good children, sadaqah jariyah, beneficial knowledge. The 3 things our beloved Prophet ﷺ said that will benefit you and I. So what are you leaving behind? You have an amazing journey. An amazing journey in Masjid Aisha. You build a masjid now, alhamdulillah. You've all come from different parts of this area to be here, celebrating the achievement. But my brothers and sisters, don't just build a masjid and leave it. Build people who can take leadership of this masjid after you're gone. Empower your children with knowledge and inspiration, knowledge and conviction, knowledge and power to be good Muslims. How many of us can put our hands to our hearts and say, our children know Islam sufficiently? We have done a reasonable job with our children when it comes to Islam. On the day of judgment, Allah will ask you and I this question. Allah will ask you and I this question. Giving them a house is easy. Giving them a car is easy. Giving them money is easy, but giving them life and skills and morality and Islam and spirituality is hard work. That's where your mosques come in. That's where you as a community come together to create a space where you can learn together. What you can't do alone, you can do together. The imams can teach. Qualified people can be employed who can train your children. You can go there to be free, to pray, to worship Allah, to learn, to invite people of this country to Islam. You can do what you like in a space that is yours, safe and sound, and it's yours. That's where investment in mosques, investment in the education of your children come in. My children, we've homeschooled both of them. We didn't send them to a school. Because we believed, and we still believe, the current education system is designed to destroy the fitrah of every child. Do you know what I mean by this? Fitrah is natural disposition of a child. The school, I believe, destroys it. It doesn't nurture it. Education system is like a factory. It churns out few more slaves for the system. It doesn't allow the creativity and inner innocence, inner goodness of the children to flourish. I believe your children, alhamdulillah, are fantastic. Alhamdulillah. I'm giving you a personal story. We homeschooled our children because we wanted our children to get a bit more than just a box standard education. But I tell you, it's hard work. It's hard work. It requires sacrifice. So I don't earn hefty amounts of money because I'm teaching my children extra hours during the daytime at home. My wife isn't working because we have sacrificed what we felt was needed to build up the leaders of tomorrow. You as parents need to make that sacrifice. Individually and collectively. That's where the masjid comes in. Collectively, you put your resources together and you empower your children for the future. You build the future leaders. You give your children what they need. You do it together. In education, in education, in education. You create confident Muslims of tomorrow. They're doctors, but they know Islam. They're engineers, but they know Islam. They're IT specialists, but they know Islam. They're parliamentarians, they know Islam. They're councillors at local level, they know Islam. They are confident Muslims brought up in this country. You can't do them alone. You do them collectively in the masjid, in your centers. That's why your legacy must be education and institution. Education and institution. Education and institution. Mosques play the most vital role in such. My brothers and sisters, I believe we have a fantastic future. I believe we have a fantastic future. Do you know why I believe we have a fantastic future? Because I meet so many young people who are so amazing, so bright, so intelligent, so embedded. What we need to do is come together and create the pioneers of tomorrow. We need to create the leaders of tomorrow. Now, it's not enough to just bring up children who are academically doing well, but are not leaders. We need to create leaders. I'm looking forward to a day when Reading Masjid can say, from our masajid, not one, not two, 10, 15 people have gone through our masajid. They are now CEOs of different companies. Now they are MPs in different constituencies. Now they are head teachers in different schools. I'd like to see that coming out of Reading Aisha Masjid. And it can't come unless you put your money where your mouth is. It can't come unless you unite together and you're on the same page. I know my brothers over there, they're doing hard work, they're doing as much. I know his brothers have grayed in the last 4 years, more than I've seen them. I remember when I came first time, their beard was darker than mine, mashallah. But their hard work meant they have to grade very quickly. But Haji Sam over there was always grey, mashallah. Allah bless him. Allah bless him. They can't do this job on their own, my brothers and sisters. They can't do this job on their own. You need to be there together in making this masjid happen. To finish off, mosque isn't just a typical place of prayer. It is a place of prayer, yes, but it's a place of connectivity, unity, knowledge, place of learning, place of excellence, place of service, counseling, help and support for Muslims and non-Muslims. Mosque is a place of soul, body and mind in every way possible. Mosque is a place from where Allah's Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam ruled the world. Ruled the soul of man and woman around him. Won the hearts and minds of people around him. That's what you need to create. Your masjid to become the soul of Reading. You need to make Reading Masjid the soul of Reading. My brothers, remember, my sisters, remember. It is sad that the sister space isn't complete in the process. It needs to be complete tonight. I know, but it needs more work. I'm picking on you a bit, I know. Sisters, we want to complete it tonight. Our journey began in this country a long time ago, 1887, when William built the first masjid in Liverpool, and from there on, today we have more than 2,000 masajid in this country. Not one, not two, 2,000 plus masajid in this country. It's a long journey, alhamdulillah. I'd like to see every city, every town, every village in this country. Just like it has got the steeple of a church, I'd like to see the mosques, the minarets, and the space for worship in every city, every town, for everybody, not just Muslims. Our masajid and our mosques should not be only for Muslims, it should be open to everybody. Everybody. So brothers and sisters, I'll finish now. I've spoken enough. I'd like to tell you, an imam came to his congregation and he said to the congregation, I've got good news and bad news for you. The congregation said, okay, what's the good news? He said, the money that we need for the extension work, we've got it, alhamdulillah. They all said, Takbir Allahu Akbar. And the imam said, the bad news is, it's in your pocket, can I please have it? So, Brother Abdul Rahim, the good news is, we have the money in this room. I can see, we have the money in this room. By the way, I saw the cars parking downstairs. I saw the brand of cars, alhamdulillah. Allah has given you, alhamdulillah. Say alhamdulillah. May Allah give you more, say alhamdulillah. So we can ask you for more, inshallah, later on, of course. So, the money is in this room, we just need you to give. But you're not giving for yourself. You're giving it as your legacy. Remember how I began? When you're dead and buried, you'll be remembered. For every person who says, رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيا حَسَنًا وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنًا وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. And the people who behind say Ameen, angels who say Ameen, and your record gets a recording on it. This man or this woman donated £1, and as a result of this space, this man or this woman is making dua, Ya Allah, add this to that person's record, and it's immediately recorded. That should be your legacy tonight, and for years to come. Give all that you can for the future of our country and our community, and for your children. May Allah bless you. May Allah accept our effort. And may Allah make Aisha Masjid the soul of Reading. Say Ameen. I didn't hear you loud enough. May Allah make the Masjid of Reading, Aisha Masjid, the soul of Reading. Ameen. Ameen, Ya Allah. Accept this dua from all of us. Thank you very much. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.